Hello everyone. Today we are here with a new poem, and the name of the poem is If Only I Were, which has been written by Shanta Acharya. So let us start the poem. Central idea of the poem. If Only I Were is an inspirational poem gently urging us to appreciate the beauty of natural surrounding as also in the harmony of music. The poem replayed the images exploring some of the most beautiful and captivating natural scenes of the world. We know that there are lots of beautiful and inspirational things all around it, and we are very much attracted towards them and we want to be like them. So, this poem glorifies the values of trust, faith, and hope. The poem also conveys the message that we can find greatness in all things, however ordinary. We should admire greatness and be inspired by it. The summary of the poem is like this. This poem depicts the poet's love for life and her ability to perceive beauty and goodness in the most ordinary aspects of life and nature. She is inspired by myriads of things: the chameleon wind, a peacock blue lake, a raft of sunlight, a jugalbandi rag at the dawn, among others. The poet also derives the inspiration for her life from a diverse range of experiences that invade her senses and wishes to be an inspiration for others' help. She wishes she could be the gentle eyes of Mother Teresa, or the healing hands of a surgeon, or the warm smile of a children all over the world. In her own way, she emulates poets, thinkers, and artists who have inspired people by their words and works. So, this was the summary and the central idea of the poem. Now, students, we know that every one of us wants to be like someone or something else than that what you are. People are not satisfied and they want or they desire to be like others. So, what are the things that we wish to be, and what are the things which attract us towards them? So, let us see that how the speaker or the poet is attracted towards those things and what she wants to be. So, let us proceed further and read the poem. The chameleon wind blowing over the rugged ranges of the Himalayas, a tree in full regalia of autumn on a peacock blue lake in Vermont, a bee upon a raft of sunlight in the garden of this nurturing earth, a coral formation along the Great Barrier Reef, the robe of the night sky filigreed with stars. A Jugalbindi raga at dawn of sitar and shehnai, sarangi and tabla. A wildflower greeting the weary explorer in some forgotten desert, a rainbow poised over the Ikwaku Falls, chanting, "Make me always the same as I'm now." If only I were Mother Teresa's eyes, watching over a sick, sleeping child, a dream come true in the warm smiles of all the children in our world. The healing hands of a surgeon, the defense of innocent folk, the biting, trusting grip of a newborn child at the mother's breast. The voices of poets, thinkers, artists, the words of inspiration in the struggle of our daily lives. So, this was the poem. Now, let us go with the explanation part of it. The first stanza. The chameleon wind blowing over the rugged ranges of the Himalayas. Now we know that chameleon is a reptile which keeps on changing its colors according to the environment in order to adjust with it, in order to cope up with the environment and hide itself in the colors of the environment. It keeps on changing its color. So this chameleon is compared to the Himalayan ranges. Why they are compared to Himalayan ranges? Because Himalayan ranges are also not predictable. So that is why here the poet has compared the chameleon with the rugged ranges. Rugged means broken or rocky ranges of the Himalayas, because both of them keeps changing. And the poet also wants to adapt this behavior, this quality of them, to keep on changing and adjusting with the environment. A tree in full regalia of autumn on a peacock blue lake in Vermont. Now, a tree is there. That first of all we'll know that what is a Vermont. Vermont is a state in United States, and it is very famous for maple trees. Now, do you know what is a maple tree? Maple tree are those trees which have very beautiful red and yellow color leaves, and especially this place Vermont, which is in the United States, that is very famous for it. So the poet is saying that a tree is there that is full of regalia of autumn. That autumn season is there, and the poet shows that the autumn season a tree is symbolized, and that tree is being symbolized as the best example of autumn. And where it is standing? It is standing majestically by a peacock blue lake, and the poet is admiring that beauty, that beautiful moment which has been created in the season of autumn over there in the place of Vermont. Both of them are like each other. So overall, this is the best example of autumn, where the tree is standing majestically by a peacock blue lake. Now, coming to the third stanza. A bee upon a raft of sunlight in the gardens of this nurturing earth. Here a bee is there, and the poet says that upon a raft of sunlight. Now, what is a raft over here? A raft is a floating platform made of timber or other lightweight material. So this is a floating platform. So raft of sunlight is there. The sun rays are falling on the earth in such a way that it has formed a platform, and on that platform a bee is moving very slowly. The whole earth is seemed to be like a garden, and that bee seems to be very free. So here the poet is telling about the freedom, showing us the freedom of the bee, and the poet also wants to have that freedom like that bee, and she also wants to enjoy that freedom. Coming to the next stanza, it says, a coral formation along the Great Barrier Reef, the robe of the night sky filigreed with stars. Now, this is coral. What is meant by coral? Coral is a hard substance made of calcium, and the Great Barrier Reef is in Australia, and that is a very beautiful place, and the poet is fascinated by the beauty of the coral reefs, and she wants to adopt that beauty in her personality, and she wants to be like that only. The robe of the night sky filigreed with stars. She wants to be like that sky, that robe of night sky. The sky is filled with stars over there, and it is looking very beautiful. The poet is admiring the beauty of the stars. Now, what is a robe? Robe is a long rose garland which covers a whole body, and that protects the body. So this has, in the same way that robe covers us, in the same way that stars are covering the whole world, the sky is covering the whole world, and it is protecting the earth. And the stars are twinkling like golds and silvers in the sky, and the poet also wants to be like that. A Jugalbandi raga at dawn of sitar and shehnai, sarangi and tabla. Now, Jugalbandi word is there. So, this is a duet word. Now, what is a Jugalbandi? So, Jugalbandis are duet between two musicians, and when two musicians play musical instruments over there. So this musical instruments Jugalbandi is happening over there, and Jugalbandi raga at dawn. Dawn is the early morning where the poet is mesmerized by the music and she wants that melody and peace in her life. The players are playing sitar, shehnai, sarangi and tabla, and the Jugalbandi is very appreciating. When we will hear the music, that music of the musical instruments in the morning, that will give a lot of peace to you. So the poet also wants that melody and peace in her life, like that. Now coming to the next stanza. A wild flower greeting the weary explorer in some forgotten desert. Now, weary means tired and exhausted. So, the poet is saying about a wild flower over there, and the poetess overall is inspired by the wild flowers, because wild flowers are mostly found in the deserted or the barren areas over there. So, there is nothing very beautiful which you are attracted towards. So, these wildflowers are so beautiful and they are so attractive that the travelers or the visitors are attracted towards their beauty and they become happy. So poetess also says that she is inspired by the wildflowers, that they greet and they welcome the tired and they welcome the travelers with its beauty. So the poetess also wants to be like that. She wants to be like those wildflowers, and she wants to be, you can say that she wants to be like that only. Now, coming to the next stanza, a rainbow poised over the Iguacu Falls, chanting, "Make me always the same as I am now." So here the poet is telling about the rainbow. The rainbow is of a different color, and the rainbow is positioned over the Iguacu Falls, and the rainbow is requesting and it is chanting that "make me always the same as I am now." So this shows a feeling of contentment, this shows a feeling of satisfaction. The rainbow is fully satisfied with whatever it has. We know that we are not satisfied. Human beings are not satisfied. They cannot be satisfied at any moment. So that is why the poetess is also attracted towards this quality of a rainbow, where the rainbow is fully satisfied and she wants to be the same as always, and the poetess also wants to be like that. Coming to the next stanza of the poem, it says, "If only I were Mother Teresa's eyes watching over a sick, sleeping child." So the poet wishes to be gentle eyes of Mother Teresa. She wants the politeness of Mother Teresa in her life. Mother Teresa's eyes look at the sick people, the sleeping child, in such a way that the poetess is also attracted towards her. A dream come true in the warm smiles of all the children in our world. Here, the poetess is again attracted towards the beautiful, the warm smiles of small children in the world, and she wants to be like them only. She wants to have such beautiful and warm smiles. The healing hands of a surgeon, the defense of innocent folk. Now, in this stanza, the poetess wants to be the healing hands. She wants to be like surgeons who help others to recover from their pain. And she wants to be like them only. She wants to be healing hands that who recover the pain of poor and innocent people. The biting, trusting grip of a newborn child at the mother's breast. See, this is a very, very beautiful stanza. And the poet is saying that when a newborn child holds her mother, the grip is very, very solid. That child, how the child holds her mother's hand, that grip is very solid and it is a trusting grip. The child is fully confident that her mother is not going to leave her. She wishes to be a trustworthy person. So this poetess wants to be like that only. She wants to be like that trustworthy person. The voices of poets, thinkers, artists, and words of inspiration in the struggle of our daily lives. At the end, the poet wishes to be the voice of poets, thinkers, and artists because their words of inspiration are of strength to people who overcome their problem. So she wants to be inspirational. She wants to be like poets, artists, and thinkers who inspire the other people to overcome their problems. So this was the poem If Only I Were. So, the moral value which comes from this poem is that it is better to be inspired by the greatness we see in them, in others, than merely wishing we were like them. Thank you, students. Bye bye. Take care.